Good morning, my crypto people. It's the 13th of March, spring 2024, and the crypto markets have gone nuts just as much as these buddies are. Yeah? Spring, you want to go out for a fly? It's like an airport in here. Yeah? Like Manchester Airport. So spring's arrived, and along with it has a Bitcoin new all-time high. Let me pull up the chart. 72k. Look at it, it's gone nuts. And all my patrons had an advanced notice to expect a new all-time high before the halving. How much work I've got to do in the garden. Yeah, for 6 months I said, no, unlike most crypto so-called experts waiting for a new high after the halving, I said no, it's going to come a lot sooner than that. And that was back in September. Well, I was flagging Bitcoin's heading for a new all-time high before the halving, not some 6 months after the halving. So all these crypto experts, yeah, where's the other one gone? Where are you hiding? Oh, there. So all these crypto experts, yeah, were caught on the hop. Yeah, they're just waiting for Bitcoin to fall to 25k before they'll buy, and then 32k, and so on and so on, and they basically missed the boat. Yeah, that's what always happens. And that's not even the half of it, you know. So, okay, so what? You failed to buy at 7k, 20k, 25k, 16k even, which I first flagged that this is an opportune moment to buy crypto there. So, what's next, eh? MicroStrategy, eh? The infinity loop, which I flagged to start accumulating probably in August, but more forcibly during its recent correction. I'm going to have to quiet down, these are too noisy. I've actually been twisting arms of patrons, my patrons, to get in now, don't pussyfoot around, get in now under $500, don't be stupid waiting for 400 and up. MicroStrategy at under $500 was cheap. Yeah, and so I piled into MicroStrategy. This is just January, just a few weeks ago, and so did my patrons, and well, the rest is history. You know, my target was to expect 1,000 plus by the halving, and I did fantasize that maybe, just maybe, we could see a spike to maybe 1,200, the previous high. We could just touch 1,200. And what's MicroStrategy done? Look at the chart. Calm down, I'm doing a video. Calm down, quiet. These are budgie coins. These are the altcoins, the 3 altcoins. Look at them, they're fighting. The alts are fighting for dominance. Yeah, look. Budgie coin dominance. You want to know which one's dominant? This one. Females are always dominant. She's the one who rules the roost. By the way, these are all 2 brothers and a sister who were born here. So no breeding. You won't have been. Anyway, getting distracted. MicroStrategy, crazy micro sales. You know, I recognize that MicroStrategy is both leveraged to Bitcoin, yeah, and it was cheap relative to Bitcoin in January, and you could buy in a tax-free wrapper. So it was a no-brainer, and I literally twisted the arms of my patrons to get into MicroStrategy. You know, many were reluctant, you know, but they finally, I wore many down, and they're skeptical of cryptos, but they trusted me. You know, they've been following me for decades, since 2006. So they, all right, we'll do it. Yeah. So what's the worst? And look what it's done. Look at that chart. This is nuts. No way. Look. I thought 1,000 plus before the halving. 1,200 if we get lucky. That was like fantasy, 1,200. And look what it's done. 1,650. That is insane. So I've like sold 80%. I've sold 80% of my MicroStrategy. Yo, this is nuts. It was cheap at 500, but at 1,650, yeah, it's blooming expensive. It's nearly borderline extreme. The maximum it could go to is about 1,800, but at 72k. But I'm not saying it's going there. This is nuts job. So I've sold most of my MicroStrategy, 80%, at a huge profit. Look about buying on average under 500. Can't remember the exact number. It was under 500, and selling it for 3x. So what MicroStrategy done is completely insane. 1,650 at 72k. I thought maybe at 100k Bitcoin. Quiet down. Quiet, you noisy buggers. What do you want? Oh, it blends in. So MicroStrategy, that crazy Michael said is on infinity loop, prints shares, sells debt, buys Bitcoin, market cap goes up. I've covered this countless times before. That's why it was a no-brainer. So the focus of this video is going to be my Bitcoin trend forecast for 2024. Comprehensive in-depth analysis that was first made available to my lovely patrons. You know, for $5, look what they got access to. Yeah, if you can't afford $5, I don't know what you're smoking. First, a word from Michael Saylor and his infinity loop before I get to my analysis proper. Quiet. This budgie, I'm going to call it Michael Saylor. Always tweeting. Yeah. This budgie is Michael Saylor. Are you going to come to me?
Have any doubt whatsoever? That's my one question, because I was thinking about you at 17,000, and now I look at it now, and it's I just can't believe what the market cap of your company is based on it now. I guess, and the other thing is, when it halves, should we, if we look at it on stock to flow, do we have to just double what the potential price is based on, if you use that metric? Is that a valid metric to use? And after the halving, shouldn't it be 140,000 immediately if it's worth 72 now?
Two good questions, and thanks for asking me. First, with regard to Bitcoin, no, there's no doubt in my mind Bitcoin was a better investment at 17,000 than it was at 65,000. I take the Warren Buffett view on this. Bitcoin's a superior investment to gold, equity, bonds, and real estate because it's digital. You can trade it 1,000,000 times faster than conventional assets using a computer. It's available. Most other assets only trade less than 20% of the time. Bitcoin's trading 168 hours a week. We bought $800 million of Bitcoin, and a lot of it we bought over the weekend when all the conventional markets are closed. It's global. It's the most widely recognized and trusted investment asset in the world right now. It's ethical because it's the king of all commodities. There's no issuer. There's no company. There's no country controlling it. And fundamentally, it's useful. Thousands of market makers can trade it all the time. Millions of companies can trade it. Billions of people. If you want to buy a house on Saturday in Africa, this is the way to do it. If you want to buy a car on Sunday morning, this is the way to do it. So it's a pretty great asset. It's the greatest of the assets, in my opinion. There's no second best asset. So I didn't have any question about it. We're just waiting for the rest of the world to realize how good it is. As for your second question, the halving, look, the selling in the market for the past month has been primarily bankruptcy estates that are liquidating GBTC at FTX or Genesis or the like. Once they got done rebalancing, the natural sellers are the miners. The miners can only sell 900 Bitcoin a day right now. They're only going to be able to sell 450 Bitcoin a day coming the end of April. As long as there's more demand in the market than the 450 Bitcoin a day, there isn't any catalyst to drive this asset down. It has no cash flows. The critics think that's a defect. It's a feature. With no cash flows, no quarterly results, no product cycles, this is the longest lived asset in the financial ecosystem with the least uncertainty. We're buying it to hold it 100 years. So that being the case, that $66,000 to $16,000 crash, that shook out the tourists, that shook out the non-believers. When it was 16,000, we were all ready to write it to zero. And that's what you'll find with the Bitcoin maximalists. So now we're writing it the other direction, and the protocol's working to everybody's benefit. There's just no reason why it shouldn't just keep adjusting up to find the marginal supply as the demand builds.
Bitcoin Crypto Mania, 72K Bitcoin proxy MicroStrategy 1650. So here's my Bitcoin analysis and concluding trend forecast for the whole of 2024. That was first made available to patrons who support my work, who were buying Bitcoin from 16K, no kidding, 16K, where this trend forecast for 2024 dates back to 27K. See, I don't use dates, I use Bitcoin price now. And then we had MicroStrategy at under $500 in January, all for the price of a cheap martini, $5, that's all. So I've received my Bitcoin gift. I could not have been any clearer at the time, both for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Gravy trains, I've warned you. The gravy trains are leaving the station. Get on board now. That's literally the title. As you can see, my Bitcoin trend forecast points to a target of between 120k to 170k. That was in October, by mid-2025. However, like I say, that was last October, since which time I have narrowed my expectations down somewhat of how this trend will play out, given that Bitcoin is pumping hard. That I warned, a good 4 months ago in December or November, that I suspect will catch most crypto investors out, and thus they will lose all of their gains as Bitcoin tops out well before the end of this year. As I covered in my latest article that was made available to patrons about a week ago. What about altcoins? Well, here's my take on Solana. Hero or zero. Yeah, there was a chance that it could go to zero, but that's true with any crypto. But the upside of at least 10x was worth the risk at $20. And now look at where Solana is. And this was not even my starting gun on Solana, as I flagged to patrons that I had started accumulating Solana at just $9 in November 2022 following the FTX collapse. I didn't buy much, but I did start buying it, and I did notify patrons in an article at that time when cryptos were presenting an opportune moment to accumulate for the next bull market, with my coverage of the emerging bull market since. So you had plenty of time to accumulate from November 2022, where periodically I've updated patrons. And identifying MicroStrategy early on at around $300 as a Bitcoin proxy. That was long before the ETFs appeared, a good 6 months before. Since which I and my patrons built a position in both Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and a few altcoins like Solana and Link. Well ahead of the recent moonshot, that was, I would say, obviously I didn't expect 1650, no one did. But I had penciled in $1,000 plus, so don't pussyfoot around at under $500. Anyway, so try it for a month for $5 and you'll see for yourself. You get access to everything for $5, which is set to rise to $7 for new signups, not for existing. So if you sign up for $5, it's locked in. But for new signups, it'll go up to $7. I've been saying this for near 6 months now. I just keep delaying it because I know there's got to be say, oh, it's gone up, or can we go back to 5? So I've delayed it, but it's got to go up now. So this is probably one of your last chance to sign up for $5. I've delayed it long enough. Anyway, you can get to read my articles right now, where even a small stake in Solana would have 15x by now. Can you imagine that? 15x. People go on about Nvidia, yeah, which will obviously it's not 15x, it's about 9x of its low. Solana's 15x. That was comparable, no, risk-wise at the lows, they were both comparable. At the lows, obviously not now, after the AI mania. The Bitcoin gift is not over. This crypto bull market has much further to run, and you need to have access to my analysis to know how it goes, because as you see, it's changing. It's rapidly changing. Look at MicroStrategy. That was $500 a few weeks ago. Now it's $16.50. You can't think in terms of, oh, you said this. Yeah, I said it when it was $500, not $16.50. No, the lay of the land changes. What was cheap at $500 is not cheap at $16.50, even though the mania could pump it up to $1,800. But the risk is $16.50 versus $1,800 versus back below $1,000. Anyway, you need to become a patron to know that. To know much more than that. The Bitcoin gift. And this, cryptos, Bitcoin MicroStrategy, is just the icing on the cake. You know, it's extra. The main focus is the AI megatrend that me and my patron have been riding up, down, and back up again for several years. You know, invested, 95% invested in October 2022 lows, and destined to keep riding this AI megatrend for several more years. That has seen the likes of AMD go from $60 to $225. I stated repeatedly when AMD was falling, like when it felt like falling knife to $60, I'm not worried what price AMD falls for, because eventually it will go to new all-time high and eventually will trade to $200 a share. I actually wrote this and commented at the time. This is why, you know, as the stocks fell, I wasn't bothered. I just bought them more, invested more and more and more until I came near 100% invested. You know, probably around November 2022. I think the last falling knife I bought heavily was Tesla. I'm sure that had another plunge deeper into January 2023 even, I think. It's a bit foggy now, but I remember that fell later than the others. Anyway, do consider becoming a patron. This is probably your last chance. Look, $5 would have bought your MicroStrategy at $500 or less. Now look at it, $16.50. This is factual. You can actually go read the article, go read the comments where I'm literally arm twisting patrons. No, I can't say, oh, you should go and buy. I say I am buying more. What are you doing, Nidhi? I can only tell you what I'm doing. I have doubled my position in MicroStrategy. This is why, when it fell below 500 in January, I doubled my position in MicroStrategy. That's telling you, isn't it? You can wait for $400 if you want, but you know, I wrote sub 500. That's the buying level. No, it doesn't matter what price it trades down to. It doesn't matter, because eventually, pretty soon, before the halving, that's mid-April, it's going above $1,000. I can't say how much higher than that, because there is the 1200, which it could briefly. Anyway, I've already written all this before. I'm not going to go over it again.
Hark on the bells, sweet orange bells, all seem to say, fear in decay. ETFs are here, bringing good cheer to young and old, balls in control. Ding dong, the coin is from Rome, liquid rising, also lightning. One seems to hear for more cheer from everywhere, feeling the air. Candles and bells, hush, river, fun, balls, healing bells, sheep, hooks of mail. Bitcoin is here, cheer. Too young and old, balls in control. Ding dong, no glorious Patron. Link with rising, also lightning. One seems to hear FOMO and cheer from everywhere. Feeling the air, clear goes and bound. Hush with profound, doors, hill and dale. Sheep looks so pale. Bitcoin is skiing, wild clubs are singing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Wonderful send down without end. Autumn is on, mortgage your home. Hark how the bells, sweet orange bells, all seem to say fiat indicate.
Keep calm. And carry on buying AI tech stocks as they deviate from the highs. Where the greater the deviation, then the greater the buying opportunity presented. Keep calm and carry on buying. Quantum AI tech stocks. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe in Google. You take the red pill, you stay with Market Oracle, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. To ensure you ride the AI megatrend gravy train into the future and the crypto gravy train during 2024, then you consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $5 per month, which is nothing for what you're getting access to, and it's due to soon rise to $7 per month for new sign-ups. Access to my latest mega analysis, a comprehensive 3-part guide on how to really get rich during 2024 that has exclusively been made available to patrons right now. You can go and read the 3 guides right now, full access, which is a truly epic piece of work that took me the whole of 2023 to write, which condenses down my lifetime knowledge and experience down to some 60 chapters, which is on top of my ongoing analysis and trend forecasts that are made available to patrons for just $5 per month. There are no bolt-on extras, no courses, no other crap that all these con merchants do. You get full access to everything for just $5 per month. Lock it in now because it will soon be rising to $7 per month for new sign-ups. So, did you buy the October 22 bloodbath? Especially in tech stocks, FANGs, with the likes of Meta plunging below $100? Well, I and my patrons did. Go read my articles and the comments posted under them. We got well blooded by catching all those falling knives. Did you make the mistake of listening to the likes of Clown Kramer on the Cartoon Network, who stated Meta, amongst others, was finished? Meta finished at $100 a share, was the mother of all buying opportunities. This clown stated it was finished. Says it all about Clown Kramer and the Cartoon Network.
They're finished. They're finished as places.
They're finished. They're finished as
places to invest.
We keep talking about
places
this
to
falling
invest.
knife, as if the knife continues to fall. Though there are people who.
Well, I'm just saying. Look, I'm looking at the money coming out. Where's the money coming from to buy to buy industrials? It certainly isn't coming from new people saying, "Wow, it's time to put money in the stock market," because they get such a great rate on the 2-year. I think it's money coming, rotating out of companies that have dominated this market for the last decade and into companies like Caterpillar who actually know what the hell they're doing.
Are you thinking that the tech companies that I think that you're disappointed in are going to get religion, if you will, and get disciplined? And what does discipline look like?
You know what they are? I would call them atheists. They believe in nothing.
That's a nihilist.
Meta? I don't know. I think they have to change the name again. They really do. I mean, you can't be saying Meta. I don't know. How about loser? How about stupuda? I don't know. Anything doesn't even matter. I don't know if they can make a comeback. The facts have changed, and I have to change with it. I believed. I thought I'd be safe. I was wrong. Bottom line, forget being leaders. Big stocks are now followers in a post-COVID era, where we're learning that their earnings were far more inflated by the pandemic than we knew. We're just now discovering that tech emperors have no clothes, if they're even emperors at all.
So, for immediate first access to all of my analysis and trend forecasts, then do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $5 per month. Immediate first access to ahead of the curve analysis, as my extensive analysis of the stock market illustrates, that you can trundle along to by following the link in the description. That continues on in the comment section of each posted article, all for just $5 per month, which is nothing. If you can't afford $5 a month, then what are you doing watching this video? $5 is nothing. If someone did what I am doing, then I would gladly pay $5 per month for it. Sign up for 1 month for a taste of the depth of analysis that cannot be beat by those who charge over $100 per month. I'm too cheap. Anyway, I'm keeping my analysis accessible to all those who are willing to learn, because where investing is concerned, the sooner one gets going, the better, as portfolios compound over time. $5 per month is nothing for what you get access to. So at least give it a try. Read the comments, see the depth of analysis. You won't be sorry, because I do my best by my patrons. Go that extra mile. Gaining access to over 35 years experience, right from before the 1987 crash straight through to this stock's bear market, that will ride the quantum AI megatrend into the future.